So this is the Combat Station. I'm your host, Ty Matthews, and we are back. So today we have a interview with Westin Wilson, who's fighting at XMMA this weekend. So mate, let's start off. How you doing, mate?
Doing good. Just in the weight cutting process right now. So, 2 days to weigh-ins. So it's always the most miserable time, but we're making it through.
So let's start off. How's your training camp been going into this fight?
Well, I took the fight on 2-week notice. This month, I've been scheduled to fight 3-4 times. All opponents just dropping out fight week. So I've just basically been staying ready. And yeah.
Now in this fight, cool. What's going to be the difference against you and your opponent, Tyrek Malavex, however you say it?
Well, this is my first time back down to 45 in a couple years. I've been fighting at bigger weight classes. Not so much that I weigh bigger, just, it's different at the bigger weight classes. So I've been fighting at, 55, 70, 75. And the opponent's a little bit bigger, a little bit slower. So it's been interesting, coming back down. I expect him to be faster, but not nearly as strong. And maybe he's as strong as all those guys. It's not going to really matter because I'm 6'1" with 75-inch reach. So he has a tougher time figuring me out than I would have figuring him out. Because I think he's like 5'8". He's just like most every guy I've been fighting over the last couple of years. So actually over my whole career.
Now, as you mentioned, you've gone back down to 145. Do you feel this is your ideal weight class?
Yeah, for sure. This is my ideal weight class. I don't walk around super heavy. So for me, this weight class is comfortable. Making weight isn't too big of an issue. Mostly the reason why I've been fighting an upper weight class is just, I guess, laziness on my part. I just didn't want to cut weight. And the opportunity to fight lower, wasn't there. There wasn't really the competition for me to fight lower, or there wasn't really the excuse for me to cut the weight. Or the pay wasn't worth it. So yes, that's why I didn't. But yeah, this is definitely my ideal weight class. This is where moving forward, if I'm fighting prospects and good guys, it'll always be at 45.
How is the weight cut going? Is it an easier weight cut, or is it
Yeah,
harder?
this time around is pretty easy. I was on vacation last week. I had a vacation planned. So I just had to cut out a few things of my diet on vacation, but I was able to, oh, sorry, it was my daughter.
Sorry, mate.
I was able to, definitely make weight easy. Well, I'll definitely made weight easy. I'm only 8 pounds from my target weight, and I got 2 days to make it, so I'll be fine.
Now, this is your second time fighting for XMMA. What do you think of the promotion? Do you like what they're doing with bringing all the UFC veterans in?
They're treating fighters right. They take care of us, and they're doing good shows and putting on great talent. And a lot of times they're putting on letting regional guys fight UFC vets, and so it really gives us a chance to prove that we're ready to make it to the next step, or that UFC guy deserves to make it back into the UFC. So I think they're a great platform. They're doing good things, and their marketing's great. Their design, everything is pretty awesome.
Now, going forward, obviously you've been fighting for 10 years, I believe.
Yeah.
What are your career goals going forward, and what do you want to achieve before it's all said and done?
Yeah, so outside of fighting, I make great money. So it's really not the money that I'm seeking after. It's more I want to do it for my daughters and my legacy, just to say I made it to the top, to the UFC and everything else. But I also have a lot of other interests. Obviously Wonderboy is my teammate, and he just did a deal with Karate Combat, so I wouldn't mind going the Karate Combat route either. They're new, and they're, or I should say they're newer. This is their third year, and they're doing kind of cool things as well. So if the opportunity for Karate Combat came along, I would love to display my skills there in Karate Combat.
You've mentioned training with Wonderboy. I was going to ask, what has that done for your career and training with people like Wonderboy, and what has that style, has training with him helped you a lot in your career?
Yeah, working with Wonderboy, it's really helped me kind of like build the confidence that, I can hang with some of the best people in the world. We have guys coming in and out of the gym all the time. Actually, I was just working out with Chase Hooper this morning. And Ryan Hall's come in, Chris Weidman's a regular. And so it's really helped me like realize, hey, I can hang with all these guys. So it's given me that confidence that, like, regardless of the opponent, they're not, working and training with the guys that I train with. And especially with strikers, like Wonderboy, I've really learned how to control the distance, control my range. My speed's gotten a lot better, my timing, as well as just kind of tricks and wonky stuff that I like to throw. Like, we've been able to really refine some of those techniques.
Now, I was going to ask, recently in the news, Masvidal attacked Colby coming out of a restaurant. Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
I was going to ask, what's your opinion on the whole matter about him attacking Colby after the fight?
I think it's silly that he stooped to that level. I think it's silly that people are bagging and dogging on Colby for the way he reacted, by pressing charges, etc. Like, and Khabib coming out and saying that everybody should blacklist Colby. Which is silly because Jorge's trash talk the same, bringing kids into it and family into it and things like that. So it's just stupid for everybody, like anybody who's commenting on it and bashing on Colby is dumb. I think the only person I've seen actually like come out and say I would have done the same thing is Henry Cejudo. It's a sport. Like, at the end of the day, both guys got paid a ton of money to fight. And then the fact that they're that Masvidal had to come in and sucker punch him while he's out, dining. I mean, it's just silly. But it's also publicity. There's a ton of publicity behind it and a publicity stuff. So I doubt Jorge will do any time or anything like that. He'll probably just get a fine and move on. And that fine's probably worthless to him. Like, he's got so much money that it won't even miss the money.
Another man recently's also got a smack in Chris Rock in the Oscars against Will Smith. I was going to ask, can you rate Chris Rock's chin out of 10?
Yeah, he took it well. And if it, once again, I think that was a publicity stunt. But if it was real, 100%, great chin on him to be able to take that smack from a bigger dude in Will Smith and to, keep moving on like nothing really happened. So good on him. Yeah, I would say definitely probably an 8.
Yeah, solid chin in it. Now, coming up, there is a UFC Pay For You 2 weeks. It includes Aljamain Sterling, Yan, and Volkanovski versus Chang Sung. I was going to ask your predictions on them 2 fights.
Yeah, man. Korean Zombie, he's always good. But Volkanovski, man, he's just so fundamentally sound. The way that he got out of that guillotine choke from Ortega was insane. And then the beating that he proceeded to put on him. And Korean Zombie, he's always gotten up to that level, and then just something weird and wonky has happened to him in the fight. Like when he fought for the belt against Aldo, he tore his shoulder in the fight. We fought Ortega for the title shot. You know, he took that elbow and then kept going. Yair Rodriguez, like, he always has some weird wonky thing happen, like end of the fight. So I'm going to go with Volkanovski on that one, and Jan for the other one. I mean, Jan's just, his boxing and wrestling is so good. There's no, you know, I was impressed in the Sandhagen fight. Jan impressed me in that fight, so I don't see Jan going away anytime soon.
There's one more fight on that card, Khamzat Chimaev, Gilbert Burns, and obviously Khamzat's taken a big step up in competition. Do you think he'll be able to fight at the level of a fighter like Gilbert Burns?
You know, I think he's got all the tools to beat Gilbert. He's a hard hitter. He's great wrestling. I don't think he's going to go to the ground. And the thing is I'm going to help Wonderboy for Gilbert. Gilbert's got the submissions, but in his last 11 fights, he's only got one submission win. So I don't think he's got great jiu-jitsu, but I don't think he's got like the best MMA jiu-jitsu. Because if he did, he'd be submitting guys left and right. You know, like Damian Maia, great MMA jiu-jitsu. Anyways, yeah, that's what my prediction is I think Khamzat takes it, to be honest.
Now, we're going to probably wrap up in a minute, but I was going to ask anything you would like to say to your fans and, yeah, anyone out there supporting you.
Yeah, check out the fight this weekend. I promise it will be a memorable fight one way or another. You know, I want to have one of those fights where you look back and you're like, man, that was a good fight. Like, it was, you know, we both threw down, we scrapped. So that's what I'm looking to do. You know, I took it on 2-week notice, so there's really not much preparation that went into this camp, but just do what I do. And so that's what we're going to do is just stand there and trade. And if we go to the ground, we'll grapple. But I want one of those fights that's memorable that the fans really enjoy.
Well, mate, I wish you the best of luck, and I will be rooting for you this weekend. Anyway,
Thank you.
This has been The Combat Station. This is Westin Wilson, and we are out.